Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to the Canyon. Welcome back to Crawlympics 2024. This is, of course, the fifth group, Group 5 here, which means, yes, we have not made it to halfway. Next week, Group 6 will be the halfway point. There will be 11 groups that run total. And the entire time, we're physically and mentally tweaking the structure of what will proceed from here because we want to do 5 stages. But if stage 1 takes 3 months, Crawlympics 2024 will extend past 2024. So, you know what we're going to do? We're going to figure that out. We're going to figure that out, but we're going to figure that out later. Today, what we have time to do is we have time to get into Group 5, and what a motley crew we have indeed. Junkbot, Kronk, Lil Fella, and Lil Yella. I have said in the past, we've had groups with no common threads, nothing shared in common, and by gosh and by golly, we are there right now. No similar tires, no similar axles, no similar power plants. Yeah, there are 3 outrunners out here of radically different power source and layouts. Everyone is running 3S on the day because most are set for 3S. Yella was originally built as a 4S rig, but at that time he was on an NSDRC RS500B, and that one exploderated and was replaced with a flash hobby, which is perfectly productive on 3S. And at that time, he was not on tires as tall as the Genius Sem Limites. I think that's what they're called. Yella has kind of been called into service as a test mule. So his everyday, I'm doing the air quotes behind like this, his everyday tire set changes like the directions of the wind. We never know on any given day what his fight. He's been on ruptures. He's been on tutu tusks. He's been right now. He's on these. He'll be on whatever. Everyone else is pretty much on their tire. And now it's time to do the spinny bit and do the breakdowns. We will start as per usual, alphabetically, left to right. Junkbot. Junkbot was built as a response to someone said, "Hey, build something out of only the worst parts." Now, I will say in full confession that not every single individual part of Junkbot is the worst. I have no particular issues with his body. And that's pretty much, the wheels. The wheels are fine. They're tutus, but they're skinny. I don't really have any problem with them. They work just fine. He's running the Amazon Fake 1.9 Pitbull Rock Beast XLs, the quite literal worst tire in the world. They have nothing in the way of grip. You can only use throttle to make them operate. Junkbot might actually not do the absolute worst here today because his power plant is the reedy RTR stuff, and throttle is pretty much all he has to use to get through obstacles. So if he can use throttle out here, he might get through. So that is, of course, the reedy 550, however many turns, 14 turn, 16 turn, with a reedy SC480X. Servo duties taken care of by a Spectrum S614. His radio is even a Spectrum DX3. The shocks are the RC 4-wheel drive King leak festivals that no matter how many times you rebuild them, they will leak their oil out rapidly. Gen 7 axles, some knockoff, some basically Amazon clone 10.2 rails that the metal of the C-channel is so thin you could literally cut yourself on it. It's like it's made out of razor blades, hewn from razor blades, and then just whatever was laying around to get it to put together the rest of the way. An Amazon gearbox that has more lash and play in the top shaft and all the shafts, down to the metal spur gear that they all include. Just the absolute worst. And then he comes back around again in a reference that I've made somewhat recently, in a Tommy Wiseau sort of a thing, comes back around kind of fun again. Immediately to his left, our right, Kronk. Kronk is TRX4 axles, TRX4 gearbox, all shoehorned into a, I want to say it's the Endura sort of skid-ish forward chassis, carbon fiber chassis for TRX4. He runs some heavy wheels with some shimmed landmines that have Endura green silicone inserts. He's running a Rhino V80. He is running a Flash Hobby 58 kg servo mounted on the chassis. His front end geometry is what I would classify as good, but not great. It is a Holmes 2500, which is a, whatever Holmes calls them, it's a V2. That's what's in there. He does have a 2-speed, but with a 2500, he was built to be a single speed, and then we just swapped his gearboxes to a 2-speed. Shocks are TRX4 GTS. The body is the JLU from a 10.3. He was just put together, essentially, he is a man, and this is not meant as an insult, but he's a man built of leftovers. There were pieces left over from other rigs, and we built it to accommodate basically that body. He's a guy. And honestly, of this group, I put him above the middle. So, like, you know, I think this is maybe a 2-horse race. We'll see. Immediately to his left is Lil Fella, who is essentially and effectively a stock MST CMX. I mean, what do we say? It's got a 250-ish millimeter wheelbase, somewhere around there. It's a Jimny. It's a J4 Jimny. It is running 1.9 HB HPI rovers on some Steely wheels. He's running one of those for a short time. I don't know if they're even still available. On Amazon, you can get these little Flash Hobby AM32 speed controllers for around $20. And they were unremarkable at best in their performance, and the quality control was effectively non-existent. I think I have 2 or 3 dead ones, or ones that will not program or will not boot up. It is amazing that that one still functions. He's running an AGFRC half-height SA18, which is an 18-kilo servo for on axle. But the thing is, Lil Fella is about I want to say he's around 3 pounds. So he can get away with 18 kg servo on axle. I had said during when I got him as an RTR, which was the only way to get the Jimny, that I had said he is not a rock crawler, and he is not. On those tires, which are effectively 393s, on the stock foams, on his MST axles, his ground clearance is near non-existent. It's sort of an FMS level of ground clearance. If he manages to get through this, all he's got to do is make it once. All he's got to do is make it once. If he can manage to get through this once, I will consider it to be an achievement. Everyone here, yes, why not mention it now? He is on an L-Dark CT01, the tiny little radio that doesn't fit my hand. I had mentioned Junkbot is on a DX3, which is terrible. And the other 2 are just on RC4s. Speaking of the other 2, which is the last of the 4, we've got Lil Yella, who got his name when he was Liller. He was a little fella. Began life as an Ecto, one of the first RTRs that I bought. Well, at that time there weren't many choices. He was not built from a kit. He started as an Ecto and now bears little to no resemblance to what he began as. Fitted with the J-Concepts Gozer. Amazon dig box in the middle. He's got SSD Diamond Pro axles. As mentioned, the Genius Semlamite tires on 2.2 wheels. 60 kg Flash Hobby servo. He has got the old-timey, he's one of the AG Innovations Ninja fitted rigs with a Team Brewed 1650 kV outrunner. So 3 outrunners there in a row. Did I mention that little fella is on a glow-backed 3532 1470 kV? If I didn't. So we have 2500, 1470, and 1650. He does indeed have dig with a RS100 for dig, I think. I forget. As I said, built originally as 4S, but we went to, like, he's sitting on a very tall tire. His roof is up there with the tallest of them. We switched down to 3S when we blew up the RS500 servo. So I don't know. Could I pick a favorite? I don't know. I'm quite sure that 2 of these have never run here at Mavericks. I think Yella might have. The recollection is somewhere between dim and non-existent. This might be the first time out for all of them. So we're all single speed, 2-speed, single speed, single speed. We only have one vehicle with dig, that's Yella, so if there's any and also he has the steer angle of element axles with the flipped caster. So if there's somebody who's here, and the biggest ground clearance, so if I was just going off of a stat sheet, if we're looking at the white paper winner here, it's gonna be Yella. He's kind of the best suited to this on paper, aka on the plastic table here. As we say on rock crawling portions, the rocks will decide. Here the course will decide. We will find out in short order how hungry is Mavericks today. Hopefully we make it through mostly unscathed. Or, let's shoot for it. Completely unscathed. Wouldn't that be amazing? That would be amazing. So let's get them lined up. We go in that exact order that you see right there. And we're going to do this. Everybody gets their 5 minutes-ish, 5 minutes or so. We'll run it down. We'll break it down. We will see how it shakes out.
I do forget, because we'll go an extended period of time without driving this, as it was, built as an unfunny joke, but here we go. The DX3 is a god-awful radio. I have negative feelings about virtually all Spectrum radios. The DX3, SLT3, ST3, SL3, whatever they, all of the RTR giveaway radios are giveaway RTR radio quality. And the feel, the ergonomic of it is just not good. It falls in line of tires where you drive a tire and you're like, how did they mess this up so bad? That is generally the feeling I have with Spectrum radios. Junkbot also has the unfortunate, sometimes the alphabet gets you, and he gets to go first. It's been a week since we've been out at Mavericks, and we mean that quite literally. It has been 7 days since we were out here last. And he gets to run it first, so he's going to be clearing the spider webs and testing out for everybody else. Roughly the same rules apply for everyone, give or take 5 minutes. And we're ready when he is. So I have no idea how much throttle to go with. Oh my goodness. Yeah, he's definitely got the steer angle of Gen 7 axles. And he's got all of the grip of fake rock beasts, which is none. And the ground clearance of Gen 7 axles, which is none. There we go. Oh my goodness. And then let's not forget, let's not bury it. Come on. The Reedy SC4. Oh my God. That's the worst turning angle I've ever seen. Let's not forget, the SC480X paired with a Reedy crawler has no torque, no low-end control, no mid-range speed, no functional high-end. He can't even... Yeah, there we go. Didn't even have enough drag brake to stay on the end of the teeter and then reverse and back. Oh my goodness. So, I had said Junkbot does a fairly convincing Tommy Wiseau's The Room. So bad it's good again. Oh man. But I don't think he's ever been tasked before with doing something shall we say, structured, right? Okay, he has knocked a giant chunk of concrete out into the middle. Can't even... There we go. It is unbelievably bad. Next to no ground clearance because of those Red Cat axles. Can't even... I don't know how we got through it on the first try so easily. All right, we'll allow it. I mean, around the tennis ball is the legal line, but he spent 30 seconds trying to get his rear axle through. What's up, Lizard? If he makes it around 3 times, it will be something of a miracle. Oh man. When I say he was built half as a joke out of the worst parts we could find, I mean it. Oh my goodness. I know where I need to go. What's up, Lizard? The steering is so bad, you would honestly think something is broken. It's 5-point turns everywhere. Oh, look at the... That's the stuff. That's the stuff. There is significant wear on the... on the pinion gear from that hardened metal spur. I don't know where, in what factory, they said, you know what we need on small electrically operated rock crawlers? We need hardened metal spur gears. We really don't. Oh, I'm sorry, not even just that. Hardened metal 48 pitch spur gears. He just got stuck on a rock that sticks out about 20 millimeters from the ground. Okay, he's coming across the line with with 30 seconds remaining. Yeah, right around 30 seconds remaining. There's absolutely no chance under the sun we make it around again. It's just impossible. So we're gonna wrap that one. As I'd said previously, pretty much everybody's fastest lap comes on their second lap, almost exclusively. So bonus time, what we would call bonus time after the 5 minutes have expired, hasn't really helped anyone. And I definitely don't think it would have helped him here. I'm not trying to say that I feel like Kronk has his work just laid out for him a little more easily. This is indeed first gear. TRX4 axles have a lot of clearance. His CG is deceptively low because his body's so big. It looks like he's going to bottom out. It looks like he's just going to flip over all the time, but he kind of doesn't. So much as Junkbot got 5 minutes, Kronk is going to give 5 minutes, and I'm expecting a better performance than the one we got previously. It's all about finding that, where is the right spot in the throttle band to be taking this stuff. TRX4 axles, man. Are there advantages to portals out here? I want to say yes, like in general. Are the fastest times held down by straight axle guys? Some of them. There's that lizard. He's trying to get out in the open. Oh, yes. Neglected to mention during the breakdowns, Kronk has the GRC G2 hubs, the wilderness hubs, not the full axles, but he has the hubs. And that does tighten up the steer angle on a TRX4 axle a good bit. Also improves the ground clearance in the front. His body roll's looking a little severe. We haven't really been able to get up into the throttle. But he's taken everything real tight. Just takes the one clean one. Find the spot. He got proper wild right there. Came through okay. I feel like I'm not going fast enough because he's taking this a little bit too effortlessly. The silicone fitted landmine combo is absolutely doing it. It's absolutely doing it. Yeah, he's reasonably agile. He's deceptive in that way as well. The Rhino Holmes combo is a bit of a howler. Ooh, held that up there nicely. Good sidewall support pulling us through. We just got to dodge that, you know. Course obstacles brought about by rigs. If they knock anything out in the open, everybody else has to deal with it. So we've got a big chunk of concrete that's been knocked out in the open by Junkbot. Everyone else gets to deal with it. Ooh, smooth through there because he's outrunning me a little bit. His clearance is outstanding. I think with the taller tire, Yella's clearance will be very close on the Genius. Even with all the reduction that we've got going on here. Woo! Very planted. He's got a real stable feel to him at a certain point in the throttle band. I feel like I can't get as spicy as I would like to because there's a real point of stability. His turn in is so much sharper than I would anticipate, and I don't know if that's just because it's been a hot, long minute since Crunk was wheeled, or if we're coming hot off the heels of Junkbot, who has just abysmal steering. Just bad in every way. He's taking that turn there as tight as anyone, and it's just the TRX4 axles that stop him from making this from making the teeter-totter turn. He could do it in one shot. Like, he comes through here, kind of an S turn. We do this pretty well. He got out of shape a couple times there. Still managed to salvage. He's got a reasonable amount of time on the clock. Rolled off the course, but managed to somehow avoid the tripod in the corner. Now he's getting real out of shape. Some time was left out on the course by Junkbot. We'll use that up. Kronk will eat that up himself. That'll give us the opportunity to get in with a bit more speed. I gotta say, we're running more than a number of Rhino V80s. Yeah, there it was. Any amount of a reasonable time we might have had, that's gone now. That flip right there. This is the only one paired with a Holmes, and it is without parallel the loudest one. So I know there's a lot of silent ESCs out of there, but the motor's not, the ESC is not where the sound is coming from, people. It's coming out of the motor. And I know it's all about PWM control and all that, but some motors are quieter, some motors are louder. This is the loudest one we got. The little fella is so small and so slow that any off course he does is just going to spell doom. Because he'll barely be able to get back on, and he might be one of the few where I talk about making runs at wide open throttle. He might actually be able to use wide open more than once here. He is very, very slow and still unstable. So And as was mentioned, the clearance, the steer angle on the axle it's not the worst. Well, we made it that far. As I said, I don't know if he can even make it over. Okay. All right. I don't know if he can physically make it through this. Full. All you got to do is make it once. Okay, a little slower through there. Oh, the steering response is not, it's not Junkbot bad. Like, let's not say that, but, oh, it's so bad. He really starts to perform when you go down to about 30% throttle. I think he could actually do this fair decent up past about, I don't know, I would want to say 50%, but realistically maybe 60% throttle. Look at that. He gets so much scrub, particularly on the front axle. It's not that the... oh my God. It's not that the servo doesn't have the sauce to get him turning. It's that he's got so much front end scrub, which translates into push, that up above about the amount of throttle that I'm applying right now, he's effectively unusable. When I come off of running through here with Kronk, who could only use 30% throttle, I guess it shouldn't surprise me that this guy also doesn't want to use above about 30% throttle. The difference here, of course, being that Kronk's 30% throttle is about the speed of this guy's 100% throttle. But we get right in through here. I mean, the tire is doing absolutely every bit of the work here. Look at that. Okay. Drop down real low on the throttle. Yeah, any amount of throttle application and he is just completely out of control. Nice and tight through there if we keep the speed as low as humanly possible. So while he was not built as a rock crawler, oh, I just noticed there's a display on the top of the CT01, and if I glance down, I can see what throttle percentage I'm at. Look how far we have to get. I literally have to hang over the front. He doesn't even have the weight. I'm using 41 seems to be the number. Right around 41% throttle. Little burst here to get over. Okay, no one has ever gotten stuck there. He was putting together a good one. He was putting together a good one. In the spirit of Junkbot, he is going to cross the line with right about 30 seconds still on the clock, which, again, not wholly unexpected. I don't think the bonus lap is going to get us anywhere at all. Not unexpectedly, at this time of day, the amount of insects, the sheer quantity of insects trying to fill every hole in my face, ears, mouth, nose, including full-blown flies. I've had two completely try to enter my left ear this morning. It is rough. It's a no shoes day. I am sweating like a horse, despite the fact that it is 8 a.m. It is unconscionably hot for 8 a.m. I'm going to sweat through. Yella is our final go of the day. Thank goodness. And we will see if, like he is the guy that appears to be armed with the weapons of the day. We will see how he can do. A little bouncy. Yella is a guy who among his strengths are an impressive sprung to unsprung ratio. His wheelless and tireless, basically, call it an RTR slider, is remarkably light. Doesn't even need dig through there. Very nearly as sharp as Kronk did it, maybe sharper. Little dig turn run right there. As they say, every second counts. I think we gave that second. Man, his steering response is so sharp, it snaps in. I mean, it's kind of ridiculous what kind of steer angle we're looking at on him relative to everyone else today. Kronk was surprisingly good for a TRX4 axle, although I think in these first groups, I think the TRX4 axles have done well. We've gotten a couple real sharp crackles out of this guy, and we never know. Is that spur gear? Is that ring and pinion? What are we getting the sharp crackle out of? He seems to be holding it together. And with the Gozer, it not being the best self-righting body, but his tires are big. And he can throw some speed into them. That's the thing. His ability to deliver power. It's almost, he's right on the ledge of out of control. Of the group, he seems like he's best suited, but he's still, I think, more suited to rock crawling than this. This is everybody's gonna have a bad one. This is his bad lap. A lot of dust being stirred up earlier. He is, is this gonna be a Diamond Pro thing? Are we gonna see a lot of good? Ooh, that is not a fun noise. Got unluckily lucky there. He turns so sharply. I genuinely keep forgetting that he has dig. And that weight ratio, him being light, he's built to rock crawl. And that's not even in question. He feels he's off course, feels quite bouncy out here. Does he have enough? Yep. Got enough time to go around one more time. The trick is, don't get out of shape on the last one. It's just keep it consistent. Don't get caught up anywhere. Like that. Because that's probably, that's 2 seconds. Probably lost another second or two there. And we're talking a second or two might be 4 or 5 places on a leaderboard. we're really starting to assemble a. It's starting to shape into a proper leaderboard. Absolutely betrayed by the totter there. That was a pretty good exit, though. I think he's going to cross it right at the 5, which means I don't think he was scorching, but I think we're shaping up for a 2-horse race here. 1 second remaining on there as he crosses the line. I don't know. Was it uneventfully slow, or was it uneventfully fast? I genuinely can't tell.
So we've got a 2-factor thing here going. Well, we've got a couple factors combining. I have to ramble long enough here in the outro in order to get the times up on the boards. Times which we won't find out until the edit. We have no idea how anyone did. I genuinely think it's going to be really close. Closer than anyone would reckon between Lil Fella and Junkbot. And I think, honestly, Kronk and Yella are going to be pretty close together. I don't think anybody took a run at the big boys. I just don't. Nobody felt really certain. Nobody felt like they were blasting through. The amount of insects that are attempting to enter my face is, even though we're getting more out into the sun now, is somehow increasing. So my ears are just like a as they enter my ear holes. It is. What's the opposite of wonderful? What's happening to me right now? We did, however, come through apparently unscathed. Yella made some noises. He made some uncomfortable noises, but I don't think any of them implied like damage. Spur gear might not look as good as it used to. That might have just been a pinion slipping. I don't know. I didn't like it. I didn't super care for it. He'll get a look through post as everybody's getting cleaned up and put away. I think a reasonably uneventful day. I am just sweating. The amount of sweat is genuinely uncomfortable. So I will take this. We're gonna make this brisk and we're gonna make this brief. I thank you so much for joining us here. If you've got a favorite, root for them all the way through. Next week, as I said, will be midway, group 6 of 11. There will be 11 groups. I'm kind of feeling like we're closing it out. If any other rigs are built or appear or anything, barring one thing, we have a lot of visitor rigs here, and or builds that were done for other people. This is it's only canyon vehicles that are entered right now. We could do a bonus of like visitors or builds for other people, something like that, if anyone is at all interested. I never know. Wheelin' Wednesday, which this is Wheelin' Wednesday, continues to be one of the least watched features on the channel, but honestly, one of the things I enjoy making the most. So we keep plugging away at it. And, you know, let's be honest about honesty. I put off making Crawlympics for it was going to be Crawlympics 2023. But I kept just sitting and thinking about how much effort need be put in for how few people are going to actually watch it. And then I was like, you know what? Let's just do it. So here we are, Group 5 in the books, Group 6 next week, which will bring us to halfway. And we'll keep doing this throughout the blistering, sweat-filled Southern California summer. I thank you all so much for joining us, unless you're one of the people who sees fit to downvote this. And we get a couple every week, every single week. I don't know how you ended up here, and if you don't like it, I don't like you. I think that's fairly succinct. And those who do enjoy the shenanigans that are going on here, thanks. I will see you in the next one. I hope that in between now and then, you one and all do your very best to have a good one, everybody. We'll see you next time. Maybe. I don't know. Who knows? The future is uncertain. We'll see some of you later. Thanks for being here for this one.